Hello, and welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with your host, Daniel.
And Daniel.
Daniel, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We did this last week.
Yes.
After
but
you
happy
walked off the show.
Official. Well, you know what? I've made my way back just this once. No. This is officially 2026, according to live and replay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can't be listening to this in 2025 in any way.
in any shape whatsoever.
Yeah. And this is the first time I've seen you since this year, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Because we recorded the Monday before New Year's.
Yep.
For our Top 8 Debate, which will air, actually, this Monday coming up. Actually, today, I think it went up live.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so, and then you were gone for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I had my other game group meet up this week. And yeah, so this is the first time we've seen you since the year started.
Yeah, exactly. Well, brand new year, brand new us, new podcast. Actually, that's totally not true. We're going to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
We have some changes actually lined up here in the next couple months, so keep an eye out for that. But that'll be change of season stuff.
Yeah.
You'll see that, not because of the new year.
Yeah, it's just that technically it's the change for the new year for us. Because our end of season is usually April. That's the start of the new season. We do March as the rundown for the year. So we're talking about some new implementations and little nuances to the podcast.
Yeah, but with that being said, of course, like before we get into what we've been playing, a new year, new us. You guys know, listeners of the podcast know that we set 8 gaming goals for ourselves every single year. It's kind of like our New Year's resolutions.
In a sense, yeah.
And we're going to be going over those in today's episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't go as crazy as I normally do. I actually set myself some realistic goals that I do want to work for.
Yep.
There is one crazy-ish new ones here. One of them is kind of the thing that I always do every year, but I upped it even more.
Oh, okay.
Because I did really good on my statistics last year. Go check out our statistics episode at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I did really good, so I'm like, I want to increase this and see what I can do here.
Yep.
And 2 of those are because of that as well. So actually, a lot of these deal with my statistics for the year.
And I found that a lot of the ones that I put in previous years, last year was a really successful year. I got 6 out of the 8.
Yeah.
I want to go 8 and 8 on this, and so all of these ones that I have here doesn't really like. It doesn't have to have like stars aligning to get them, but they are gaming goals that I want to accomplish this year. And there's some pretty random stuff, as I always do, but I don't think these are unachievable.
Yeah.
Like, for example, last year, I was like, I want to break a record, so I was in contact with Guinness, and then they're like, no, we just can't consider that as a record. I'm like, well, I can still do it, but there's no formality in it, and I was like, okay, that's different. But these ones all have like very clear, cut and dry, fairly measurable goals.
Yeah, these are measurable for me as well. One of them is a bit. I'll have to explain to it when I get to it. It's one I blatantly stole from you.
I like how you're like, I'm gonna have to explain this. By the way, it was his.
Yeah.
It was this Daniel's. Let me tell you.
But the way I worded it, I changed it a little bit.
Exactly.
Because I had to deal with something when the new year changed. So, well, I'll explain what's going on there when we get there. But before then, we have always a segment beforehand. What have you been playing?
Good question. So you and I were just talking about this game, what we've been playing, because you've been playing it too. And I figured you'd let me put this on my list because we were so excited about it. This is called 365 Adventures. We each have a different version of it from Pandasaurus.
You have
I have the dungeon.
The dungeon, and I have Cthulhu's or whatever.
Yeah, the
Cthulhu one. Yeah.
So you and I bought this on the same day when in Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
And we're like, all right. And I was about to buy both of them, honestly. So I'm like, oh, that's great. And then, but I was looking at it, I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't need 2 of the same thing just because I want to do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
And then you were already buying the Cthulhu one. And I'm like, all right, I'll buy the dungeon one. That's fine.
Yeah.
So what these are a 12-month calendar, and it's effectively a roll and write. It comes with a set of dice, and a little character thing that you actually attach to the map. It's a magnet.
I wish that worked a little bit better.
Was yours janky too?
Yeah, when I would move down to the Monday, it was like it fell off, and I'm like, I had to pull the paper back up and then fix it.
Yeah, my magnets are not aligned on the metal part, so it's really
well,
weird.
It doesn't go the full circle. I have to like lower it a little bit on the magnet itself, and then the magnet doesn't move with it.
Right.
I've dropped it a couple times during the year.
Same. So but that aside, really all it is just to keep track of what day it is, and it's just a fun way to do it because that's your little adventurer token. And what you're doing is each of the games you have effectively a roll and write. You have a couple of rolls with 5 dice Yahtzee style, and you're trying to get a certain kind of objective. In my example, mine I have to get a 3 of a kind to defeat one of the monsters, or either get no dice of a certain kind, or get a sum total for like the Sunday boss battle. Yours works a little bit differently. You were just telling me. Why don't you explain it?
Yeah. So I have 5 dice, but 2 are different color. There's 2 different sets. There's green set, which is the investigation aspect of it, as well as the black set, which are the numbers. Except for I don't have a number 6.
Yeah.
The number 6 is madness. And so if my roll ends there, I have to mark a madness on the month, and I don't know what that does yet. I think we'll learn more about it when we go into the next month.
Sure.
But what I have to do is I roll the dice, and I get my 3 rolls, Yahtzee style, and then after I'm done with that, I have to choose anything through the week except for Sunday, because the Sunday is the boss battle.
Yep.
And it's basically I'm making an investigation, and if I succeed, I get to mark it off. For every success I have during the week, I have to drop it. I drop the boss battle down for each success. So if I have 3 successes during the week, I get to make a 17 to a 14 kind of thing. The 2 dice, however, tells me what I get to investigate. So I don't have to investigate my specific day. I can investigate any day during the week.
Yep.
And based on my die roll, I choose which one I'm going to do. And my die roll has to have, the green dice have what you're investigating, whether it's a camera or a magnifying glass or a pistol. And I think that's the 3 that are on there. So each of the green dice have 2 of each side. And then I have to be like, okay, this is my numbers. Can I meet any of those? If I fail, I fail. Oh, well, I don't get to knock down the investigation at the end of the month.
Yep.
For every investigation I succeed throughout the month, the Sunday investigations, I'm going to get a point total. I don't know what that does either, but yeah, no, it's just I'm investigating rather than trying to fight.
Right.
And then I have to do the massive investigation at Sunday. So that's the main difference. Is mine is investigation, yours is actual fighting.
Yeah.
However, I don't know what February entails based on my investigation.
Yeah. So one of the unique things that this game does is that every month, once you're done with it, you're going to flip it over to the next month, and it'll add some new rules and some new changes to it. The rule book clearly states in mind, it's like, yeah, don't read forward, have fun with it, let the reveal happen when it is. So in January 31st, after I finish my final battle, I'm going to flip it over on February 1st, and we'll figure out what the new rules are.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. This is, you played over all of an entire year.
Yeah, for December 31st, so we'll be playing this over Christmas.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So my real question for you, though, is do you track it in your board game app, or are you going to do it once on December 31st?
No, I'm going to track it once a month. January 1st is where I tracked it the first time, and I figured I'll track it, give my score for January 1st, track it again February 1st, I'll put a new log into it.
Okay.
And track it again. Yeah, it's going to help me cheat on one of my things here, but that's the best way legitimately to do it.
I figured it's, by the way mine worded it, the instructions, it said, like, this campaign will end on December 31st. I'm like, well, then that's when I'll mark it if I played it or not.
Yeah. No,
because how I played it,
I treat it as a legacy game. It's just like different games that I'm doing through the thing, because I'm right now playing the rules for January. I don't know how it's going to change in February.
That's true.
So that's a new set of rules. That's the new part of the legacy, and that's when I'm going to track that part of it for February.
How are you going to mark if you won or not? Or are you just
well, mine has point totals. So I can mark the point total I get from January and the point total I get from February and so forth as I'm going down the long.
Right.
That I don't know what that means, but we'll see what it does at the end of the round and see if it win or not. That kind of thing.
That's fair. Cool.
So mainly I just mark it as a cooperative game, and I say nobody won. The game didn't win. I didn't win during the week. This way I can just log that I got it played.
Cool. Well, then that's fine. Yeah, 365 Adventures.
I've been enjoying it, though. It's been intriguing.
Yeah. Although I wish there was more, so that way I could sit there and do more. But I digress.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
But my first game is one I've talked about briefly last month. We talked about it in our bonus episode where we talked about BGG Con that we went to in 2025, as well as in my BG stats of favorite games that we played through the year and stuff like that. I don't know if it made my favorite games, but I did talk about it a little bit, or what I've been playing because of BGG Con. Well, I played it again. Just recently, I received it as a gift. You see it peeking right over behind my shoulder over here. And it's a game that my wife got me for Christmas, and it's called Take Time from Libellude. And I wanted to show it to my other group because they like these puzzly games. Yeah. You and me talk about it. We actually just talked about it.
You and I love puzzle games, but the other guys are more like, let's kill things with dice.
Yeah. We talked about it briefly last week in the top 8 debate because it was a 2025 game. And I showed it to my other group. I'm like, okay, we're going to take this as one of the things we played. We played through the first clock and multiple plays of that as well because we didn't do too well during some of those clock faces. They're rough with the limited communication. They're like, oh, it clicked on them how they were doing it because we were like, okay, we know for a fact this has to be between 8 and 12. That means we want to go low over here.
Right.
We want this to, and so maybe if someone plays an 8 or a 12 here, they play it face up and use one of those face up tokens.
Yep.
Because you discuss this entire game before you even get to look at your cards.
Yes.
And so it's like, if somebody goes here, place your card face up and use one of these tokens. If it's an 8 or a 12. If it's a 9, sure, you can do it then too. But it gives us a little point of reference where we got to play down here, what wiggle room we have, because each section has to be exceeding or meeting the past section beforehand. Mm-hmm. And if you play with the full rules, none of the sections can go over 24. So you're trying to figure out how to play these cards right. Some of them require multiple cards. Yep. Some of them require specific colored cards. Some of them require specific number, sum there. So it's just like, how do we finagle this without ever looking at our cards? So we have to come up with a game plan before we start. And it took them a little bit to kind of like, okay, this is what we got to do. And I had to reiterate, use these abilities to play a card face up to give us some information. Because the first game we played, I was the only one that played face up. And I'm like, that's why these are very important. I'm like, I even showed them, like, I played it face up. That's the card I played. I put an 8 on the middle section just to give them some information. And that was the only card we played that way. And I'm like, and then we lost because that section got less or got more than the section that followed it. Mm. And so they're like, oh, okay. And then once it started clocking, they're like, okay, now we're getting how this goes. We know how we got to do this discussion and stuff like that. So yeah, Take Time. We really did enjoy that one a lot.
Cool. Second game I wanted to talk about was a game that I picked up at a thrift store, and I was curious about it because I was like, okay, it doesn't look terrible. It's from CMON, and it's from back in the day called Play Me, an Alice Adventure game. Alice in Wonderland game. Sorry, not an Alice in Adventure game. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. So it's an Alice in Wonderland themed game, and it's literally 36 dice and 6 cards. And so I was like, okay, all right, I'm curious about that. And the way it works is that every player takes a set of 6 dice, and you're speed rolling, and you roll all your dice, then you take one of like 3 actions. The first action is lock one of your dice. Mm-hmm. Well, you're trying to be the first to get all 6 of your dice in consecutive order. So a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So if I don't have a dice locked, if I roll a 1, I can lock the die. Perfect. Second thing I could do is that if I roll a number that somebody else is working to try and get, like let's say you've already done 1 and 2 and you're needing your 3, and I roll my 3, I can instead take my 3 and put it in front of you and go, I'm blocking you. And that makes it more difficult for you. Yep. And then finally, the third action is unblocking that die. And that means on a roll, you roll that same number that's being blocked, and then you give them back their die. So basically, it just takes twice as long. But then that also makes it that if I'm blocking you, then I don't have one of the 6 dice I need to win. So that's an important thing to do, right?
Okay.
Now, the 6 cards, they are multifunction, technically. They give you an ability. At the start of the game, everybody has their own little ability. Like, my daughter had one of the characters where he just starts with a 1. And then, like, okay, that's perfect. So you just have to start 2 all the way through 5. Awesome. Mine is like, one character is like, you can't be blocked by other people.
Okay.
One of them is like, other sorts of abilities. Like, if you roll a 3 of a kind, you can do something special or whatever, right? There's all these different abilities. And once you have succeeded at winning the round, then you get 1 point and you flip your card over. Now you have a detriment against you. So, gotcha. Like my daughter's, for example, hers is the only one I remember off the top of my head, but the one where she automatically starts with a 1, when she flipped it over to get the point, she has to roll a pair of 1s before she can lock her first one.
Oh, dang.
And you only lock one of the 2, and then you go. And so it's stuff like this. So it has this cool built-in catch-up mechanism.
Okay.
It's speed rolling dice. It's real simple. It plays in like 10 minutes. And it's decent. Like I'm honestly like there's only one little minor complaint if I was complaining about it is that the colors on the dice are transparent dice and they look nice. Although since there's 6 different colors, there's like an orange, there's a red, there's a yellow. You see where I'm going with this? Transparent dice don't always work with colorblind folk like us.
Same reason why I have issues with the second Azul. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's one of the best
transparencies are difficult
role game out there. But the transparency kill me. That's why it's like my third favorite.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and that's just a factor, right?
Yeah.
And so like that only matters when you're unlocking somebody who's next to you.
Yeah.
But it does matter. So. Like, because then you give back the wrong person the wrong dice, well, then you've just hindered them by accident, well, against what the game allows. So, it's a minor thing, but still, Play Me, an adventure, Alice in Wonderland's game, I was pretty impressed with.
Nice.
I might keep it. We'll see.
Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I was just so weird. I was like, what in the world?
All right, so all the games on my list I've talked about somewhere down the line during our thing, but I just got some replays on during our most recent game night with my friends, and because honestly I had a big break when it came to playing games. Our last game night as a group was the Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I played until I played the calendar on January 1st. And then I had...
my break is right now. Like, I haven't done anything since, since last game night at your place, which was...
The 21st?
Yeah.
You haven't played a game since the 20th?
No, that Friday I did. Friday, and I played some games like in between, but like sprinkled in. No official game night.
Yeah, I haven't had an official game night. I haven't played much games. I haven't played any solo games either. So when I finally got to play some games, I'm like, I want to bust out games that I'm familiar with.
Right.
And that's why I picked this one too. It's a nice little party game. We wanted to try it at the hardest mode possible for this game. And so we played Ito from Arcane Wonders, especially since it's only 4 players.
Right.
That's the best way to do it in a smaller group. Like if it's a larger group, just do the normal basic. Everybody puts their number out, and hopefully you get the timeline right based on the question.
Yeah.
The way we did it is that with one question, we each got 3 cards and had to play all 12 cards out.
Ooh.
It was difficult, especially with the way some of those things are. And it's like, how are we wording this? Is it based on, like the R wants, or is it based on statistically what we think it is? That kind of thing.
Or what we think everyone else is thinking.
So we had to come up with a consistency what we're doing and worded it that way. This way we know where we were in the mind and stuff like that. And so, we played this one, and man, was it rough. But we almost pulled it off. We missed by 1 card.
Who was it that played that 1 card?
It wasn't just the 1 card, and it was my card and my friend Maria's card. Yeah, they were so close. It was 89 to 91.
Oh yeah.
So
how do you differentiate those? Really?
It was like right there.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, I see it. But yeah. We almost got them all in the row, all 12 cards. We missed it by 1. I think it's a fantastic game. This is, as much as I like Fun Facts, I'd rather play Ito for like an icebreaker style game. Sure. I will still play Fun Facts because just sometimes the putting it in the arrow rather than the card.
It's better to learn about the other people.
Yeah.
Right. It's that since the questions are about the people in Fun Facts, I think it works better for certain environments, but it doesn't mean it's a better game.
As for a bigger or a game group that you're very familiar with or family, I think Ito works much better.
Yeah.
Especially when you clarify, okay, this is asking us fictional characters that you have a crush on and stuff like that. That works better with people you know. So you know how like some of them are, the guy from Doctor Who, David Tennant's Doctor Who version.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Huh?
So, it works well that way. And so I had a fantastic time. I love getting this to the table. This is just an easy like little icebreaker, cool down moment in between like heavier games. So Ito was my second game we played.
So, last weekend, or like the weekend right after we played games, that first day off we had, my kids had a annual checkup, at the doctor. So, you know where this is going.
You told me the story, so
and there is a reason I'm saying this because my kids had an annual checkup, and my son is 16, my daughter's 14. And my wife said, okay, we'll check to see if they can get like their flu and the COVID boosters and all that stuff. So cool, I'll check it out. And so we went to the doctor. And I asked, like, hey, sure enough, can we get flu and can we get COVID? And they said, well, we only do flu. like, but your son is up for vaccines already. He's up for meningitis and one other one. I can't remember off the top of my head, right? So like, cool, yeah, well, let's just do those. And then so at the doctor, they gave my son 3 shots, and then my daughter 1, right, for all the vaccines. And then so we went home that day. My kids were a little sore, but nothing too bad, you know. And I was talking with my wife, and we're like, well, you know, I'm glad we got their flu shot, but we still need to get their COVID, and we need to get our shots too because we haven't been immunized. And you know, we're pretty poignant. We're about to go on a trip. We're like, all right, well, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just get it done with, right?
Yeah.
So my wife scheduled that same day for her and I each to get COVID and flu, and both of my kids to get their COVID shots. So my son, when I told him this, was like, all right, get the car. We're gonna go to the place. We're gonna get a vaccine. He was like, wait, what? I was like, I got 3 already. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get a 4th one. He was like, are you kidding me? It's like, Dad, really? Like, really? You couldn't have waited? Why today? I'm like, well, let's just get it done. Let's get it over with.
I understand his gripes, though, because he also got the meningitis one, which hurts.
It really does, yeah. And then, so, he was forced, because they told him that. They're like, the meningitis one really does hurt. So, he got that in his left arm, and he got the other 2 in his right. So then he had the choice. He was like, am I going to get this 4th one on the side
that's going to be sore?
That is already sore? Or am I going to triple down on this side? There's no good option here.
They could give it to him in his thigh.
Yeah, I was like, they could have did it on your butt. You wouldn't have liked that very much. He was like, oh, Dad, are you kidding me? I'm like, it'll hurt when you sit down. It's your choice.
They wouldn't do it.
No, I know.
They do it in the thigh first.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. It's still like, it was like when given that option, he was like, I hate you guys so bad right now. And so we planned that following day because we knew we were all off. So like, all right, let's just relax and hang out, you know.
Yeah.
And if we get affected, then cool, we have a day off. And if we don't get affected, well, then whatever, right? Yeah. You know, we have the day off. So I normally don't react to most vaccines. I really don't. But when I got this one, I was out for most of the day. Right? I believe it too. I was just sore. Kind of felt like super lethargic. Not too bad. All this to say that I took advantage of that day. I started feeling much better around like 5 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And my wife was working late. You know, she didn't get affected at all. She just toughed it through. So I had a solo game on my shelf of shame that had been sitting there for a while, and I'm like, well, if there's a time to play a solo game now that I'm feeling awake, now's the time to do it. Why not, right?
Yeah.
So I played Wrath of Giants. It's the Heroes game.
I keep wanting to call that Wrath of Giants, but yeah, right. It is Wrath.
It is Wrath. Yeah. And the only reason I remember that is because it's just so fresh in my mind. But I thought it was Wrath of Giants too, but it's Wrath of the Giants. Yeah. And so what this is it's basically Shadow of the Colossus, I guess, or like
in a sense, yeah.
In a way, right? You're this Colossus killer, and this giant is coming in. There's 4 different element giants, and you battle them one at a time as like either the adult version or the elder version of yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to take care of these guys and beat them up every time. And it has this cool system where like you're kind of building 2 different lines. As you play them down, one will say, oh, do like a ranged attack, and the amount of damage is how many of like the foot symbol you have, or the punch symbol, right? Mm-hmm. Or this symbol, or whatever. And you look at all the cards that you've played, and on the left side there's a bunch of symbols, and you count up the one that it applies to, and that's how you damage it. This is by Scott Almes, and the reason I point that out is because that seemed very familiar to me, and I remember it's not similar in function, but similar in feel to Tiny Epic Defenders. And what I mean by that is that at the beginning, you're doing essentially nothing. Like the first few, like third of the game, you're like, pink, pink, like hitting it just a little bit, doing a little bit, like we're in
Let's
Tiny
just
Epic
kind of
Defenders.
calm this down a little bit.
Tiny Epic Defenders, everything's full, you know, you're like, all right, let me just push that back up to full. I'll go down here, let me just push that back up full, you know, we're good. And then, but once it hits that like last third of the game, it's like, wow, everything's accelerating all of a sudden. And now I'm doing like 50 damage. Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of damage here. I'm like, I practically took off this giant's leg, you know, like I'm just destroying different parts of it because it's super easy now. But it has a good timing on it. You know, it doesn't play more than like 20 minutes, and it looks like it ramps up pretty easily. I was pretty impressed with it. I don't know how much I like it. I'm kind of cooling on the Hero series, honestly. But that was one of the solo games that I got knocked off my shelf. A shame, because thanks to vaccines.
All right, I still feel bad for your son.
10 shots between us, 4 people.
Most of them on your
4.
son.
Almost half of those were my son.
Yeah, I was like,
you're
that's
welcome.
Ridiculous. That is just ridiculous.
Parenting
and the thing is too is like I get it because like I can't do the COVID shot because I get swollen lymph nodes from it.
Up.
Yeah, so I'm like I get how he was like, oh no more.
Because I hate you guys so bad right now.
Yeah. All right, so the next game I'm going to talk about is one of our favorites from last year. We play this game a mess, especially when you're traveling, and I just played this newest version of it, and actually showed.
I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet.
My other gaming group, how we play a co-op mode. It's like we're just doing all this. I don't make it as hard as we make it for ourselves because
we make it hard first. Our high score is still like 50 something.
Yeah, and so I was like, once we lose these chips, that's what our score is going to be as a group, and so. And then I told them how we can get them back and stuff like that. I still kept them at 5 because my wife is not as a big audiophile as we are. But she did really well in this version of it. And this is Hitster, specifically the All-American version, which is just coming out, I think, actually this month, I think, is when it finally started getting released to everybody. Finally picked it up, got to play it, enjoyed the mess out of it. I played more on this one than I did in Guilty Pleasures because I haven't even played my version of Guilty Pleasures. I only
play ours, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, All-American, that's going to be more my wife's style because this is All-American hits. So stuff that we're charting on radio here in the North America. So I'm like, that's going to be perfect for her. You got the other version as well as
I got the Latino one, and not because I think I want it. We're such audiophiles that, like, the original versions, it's fairly easy. I want to be put in that environment where I'm like, this isn't a cakewalk, you know. I'm okay, like, trying to judge it out by time frame and hoping for the best. Like, and I'm okay if somebody destroys me on this. Like, I'm
No, and I don't have a problem.
Mix and matching, it's fun, you know.
I don't have a problem with that. It's just that it wouldn't go down with my other group because they only know the English version of stuff. Like, I know Mexican and Latin music a lot better than most people because of half of my family. Like, my dad listened to, like, cumbia, ranchero, all that stuff back in the day. And so I could get that, but playing All-American was fantastic. And this one actually hurt me almost as much as Guilty Pleasures because anything above 2009, I really struggle with because I don't know the bands all that well.
I know. Every time it's like, it's the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, that was you.
Like, eventually I'll get it right. One Direction, like, Harry Styles, Joe.
So I was like, Jonas anything Brothers. Like, I would say like 2010 and above is my weakness because I'm like, I don't know a lot of the popular... like, a few I can hit in there here and there. Like, in Guilty Pleasures, I hit Aloe Black pretty well. And you're like, how, what? How? I'm like, I just know that song. And so I was telling them in All-American, it's kind of like, this is pre my wife and this is after my wife. So I know I was listening to this around the time I was hanging out with my wife. So that's how I know these frame of thoughts. Yeah. So and that's before 2012 aspect. And I think this was before I met my wife. So that's how I got that context. But I could not tell you the years where they're at. Because anything above 2000, I don't know that well. Maybe 2005, because that was my time frame of really music. And anything before that, I know pretty darn well from like the 1940s. But it's weird. Like after 2000, I'm like,
hit a roadblock.
It's just a roadblock for me. But yeah, so we got to play this and had a blast with it. It is a fantastic set. I love the musical choice. I love that co-op variant that you and me have really started. Just play out your things. It just works so well, especially for people who don't know music all that well. And I tell them, you don't need to know music. You just need to know time. Yep. When did this come out? Were you in high school? Were before high school?
You don't even need to know it.
Yeah.
You could probably guess that.
Yeah. That kind of thing. So, yeah, Hitster All-American. Fantastic game.
Awesome. And the last game I want to talk about was the other solo game that I had on my shelf of shame as well. I played it that same day, right after Wraith of Giants, and I gotta say, I'm like really enamored with this already. This is Storyfold Wild Woods. Have you seen anything about this one?
I've heard of it. This is because I get this one and Tangled Woods mixed up, but I know the Tangled Woods is the 20 strong.
Right. It is. Yes. So this is it caters itself. It looks like a book at first, like the box does. It opens up, really beautiful production. You take out essentially a spiral binder.
Is this the one that you got at one of our Bookman's runs?
No.
Okay.
No. So what this is you open it up like two side panels. They fold open to the right, and then folded up from the middle, it's a spiral bound notebook that you're going page after page, and each page is a chapter, but then it also has the console in the middle, and that controls how the game works. So you're actually going on this quest. You're basically this character named Luma, and you have this sidekick bear. And this bear is like made of light, and this is like this cool little, like, really beautiful to look at. It looks like Ori and the Blind Forest kind of like artwork, the video game, and you have almost like an Arc Nova-esque action thing where you have different actions and they will be on either the 3, 4, excuse me, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 plus areas, and that's called your river. And there's 3 more additional spots. Now you can take any action of your actions that are on the 3, 4, 5, or 6, and you have 5 dice to start each one, and they're D8s. And if I chose, like, say, the one that's in the 3 plus, I roll as many dice as I want to for the one action, roll it, and any that show 3 or higher become a success.
Okay.
And I need certain amounts of successes to do it. Like maybe I'm trying to heal one of the monsters, or maybe I'm trying to travel to a location or do an extra help thing. Like I see like a little squirrel stuck in like some twigs or something. Like I can help him out of that, And what makes it really cool is that as the creatures come out, because they're possessed by like the darkness that we're trying to help solve.
Yeah.
As they come out, they go into the river, so they start clogging up your action selection. And the more you have, the fewer actions you can actually take. And as they move closer to the left side of the river, they're adding darkness. And if you haven't gotten the area lit up far enough yet, by the time darkness overtakes it, well, then you're done, right? And so it's a fully solo experience. It's story-based driven. It has these cool modules, and it has one of the best tutorials I've ever seen. There's a prologue, and it literally just says, "Hey, don't shuffle these cards." And then you flip it over, read it. It's like, all right, now read this next card. You read it, flip it over. It says, all right, now this is what you're going to do. For this example, roll 3 dice and keep rolling until you have 2 successes. And then it's just showing you, and you're literally playing it out, and it's teaching you as you're playing it. It is such a great tutorial. It is absolutely incredible. And then even like the tutorial says, now that you've done this tutorial, or this prologue, sorry, here's the rule book in case you need it. But every new chapter will give you new information and how to play it and how to explore it.
Okay.
And there's 6 total chapters, and I am just enamored. It was so impressive by what it did. And it's not consumable. So once you're done with it, there's ways to continue playing it. There is a sealed deck that says don't open until it says so, of course, so that will introduce some new stuff. Yep. But then it also, since it's not consumable, I could reset everything and give it to somebody, and then they can just play through that experience. I'm super impressed with it. It's already, like, I rarely play a solo game and then immediately go, I want to play that again right now. That was one I did. If I felt better, I would have done it that day.
All right, cool.
So Storyfold, Wildwoods.
All right, the last game I'm going to talk about is one that I've talked about before. I showed it, we played it on one of my game nights here. We actually enjoyed what it did. I took it over to my other game group, and it was the game we ended the night with. And this is from Office Dog, a beautiful, beautiful game. This is River of Gold.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It is...
Your other group tried it, huh?
Yeah, they finally got to play it, and they enjoyed it. It was a little longer than you would expect for a 4-player game, especially something that has a roll and move mechanism in it. But then again, if you play Monopoly, that takes a little bit too.
It does.
But this did a fantastic job. It went over well. It is a gorgeous production with the fantastic inlay gold in the river and stuff like that. And we had a blast. It was actually pretty well close game, actually. 12 points separated first and last place of a 4-player game. And it just, that is well balanced for these kind of engine building style of games.
Yeah.
And then we played it with the Patrons expansion, or mini expansion, which gives you like an asymmetrical power for your character, and everybody bought into the characters that were playing. And I also randomized the characters, so no one picked a color; they just got a character. And they got to choose what patron they used, but the clan that they got was just randomized. So I ended up with the Scorpion clan, and that was interesting. And I'm like, oh, I'm all about this influence track now. So that's all I fed into, was basically the influence track gave me second place.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we had a blast playing it. It's a really cool game. I love the concept of you roll this die and it gives you 3 choices of your actions. You either use the number to move one of your boats down the river or reset yourself above the river, or you use it to use your resources to get a merchant, but you have to make sure you have that symbol of that die roll, or you build a building in that area that based on that symbol of your die roll. So if you're in the mountains, you're either producing a contract for that, or you're building a building in the mountains. And I love the building aspect of it too, because like every boat that lands in that section gets a reward, but if you own that building, you also get a reward. And so I love that little push and pull. Is like, oh, do I want to build? We really need to get resources out here, so maybe I will build on this turn. This way, if I can finagle it, I can get my boat down there. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that there is dice mitigation as well, with using the favor to help you. It's like, man, I really needed to go. I needed a 5 and I rolled a 3. All right, well, I'm going to use these 2 on the start of my turn this into a 5 where I can activate these abilities. Yeah, I really did enjoy it. They liked it. They thought it was a little long, but I told them that's because it was also your first playthrough, so the first couple turns, you guys were still trying to figure it out. Because after we got through the first few turns, the thing just went boom, boom, boom. Everybody knew what they were trying to do at that point in time. So I think if we play this again, it'll go a lot quicker than what it did. But yeah, River of Gold, I'm really enamored with what Office Dog has been doing lately.
Cool. Alrighty, so let's get into today's episode. As I said at the top of it, it is the Chits and Giggles 2026 gaming goals.
Yeah, we do this every year in January because this is stuff we want to set ourselves for the year, in all honesty. And we actually do strive for this. You hit 7 of 8 or 6 of 8 last year?
6 of 8.
Yeah, and I hit roughly 6 of 8 as well. I think it was 5 of 8 for me, and one that was kind of eh.
Yeah.
But,
well, let's go for a full sweep.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Full sand it.
2 of these are actually going to be kind of hard for me, but I'm going to try my best to do them. That's why they're towards the back end.
The big thing that I know I need to do is I need to make sure that it's measurable. That's the way you find out if it's successful.
Yeah.
And I found that out last year, is that if you're like vague, like, I kind of want to do this thing this way. It's like, well, then did you? Or didn't you?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to tell. It's like, well, I kind of did. No, this, I'm going to make it as measurable as possible. You'll see how I add some clarity on some of them.
Yeah, and I'm the same way with mine. Most of mine are measurable, except for, that one is actually measurable too. And this one is going to be a little hard for me, and it's just because of what I'm trying to do.
That works. All right, so we're going to start with probably our least likely up to our most likely. Here we go. Coin of Doom. A new one this time around. That's
me. All right, and the first thing I'm going to talk about, my number 8, is dealing with me going on a specific type of vacation. I am taking a cruise in June of this year with my wife and our friends. We're doing a Disney cruise, and we're going into the Gulf of Mexico. I still call it that because that's what I was raised on. That's why I still believe Pluto is a planet.
Creature of habit.
Yeah.
You know.
But
Monopoly's a good game, darn it.
But we are going on a Disney cruise out of Fort Lauderdale through the Gulf, and one of the places we're visiting is the Yucatan Peninsula, I believe. I forget what the actual place is called, but we're going to go to a Mayan ruin as one of our excursions.
Yep.
So my goal is I want to play, and I have a game kind of in the back of my mind unless I find something better, is play a card game in the Mayan ruins or on the trip to the Mayan ruins. I want to play a native style game near or around the Mayan ruins, whether it's on the bus ride over there or something like that. So the one I'm thinking of doing is Prey, which is a quick little trick-taking game. It's not a large game, so I can hold it in my pocket and stuff like that. So, but that is one of mine, is I want to play a native theme game at the Mayan ruins or on my way to the Mayan ruins. And this one's a little bit tough because, that also involves me trying to get my family and our friends to play, and they're also going to have their kids with them, so it's kind of trying to get them involved. I'm also trying to see if I can find like a native themed solo game that would be held like handheld wise that I can play. Cool. This way I don't have to force other people to play this game for me to meet this goal. Sure. So it gives me like 6 months to try to figure out how I'm going to finagle this, but that is one of my goals. This is the hardest one really because one, it involves finding that specific style of game, and I do have one in mind, but also involves other people helping me meet that goal aspect of it. But yeah, so my goal is to play a native game in the Mayan ruins or on my way to the Mayan ruins.
Cool. All right. So my first one is, well, this is my number 8 technically, because the way I did it. My first one that I want to talk about is that I kind of briefly talked about it at the top of the episode when I was talking about the games I played. I played the Wraith of Giants, and I own, other than the most recent one, Unbreakable, I own all of the Hero series from Renegade. Unstoppable, yeah, not Unbreakable. Unstoppable. I own all of the Hero series, the solo Hero series from Renegade Games.
Yep.
And it started because I really liked the first one, Proving Grounds.
And that's the one I least liked.
And yeah, and I get why. Like, that makes sense. But then, the more I thought about it, like, I have a lot of collections of games that I have for whatever reason, whatever I've decided for. But, like, just because I was like, oh, I'm kind of a completionist. So, like, I have all of the Dominions, right? And I will continue to get all the Dominions. I own every game that won a Spiel des Jahres. I own, I'm trying to get, like, every Phil Walker Harding game. And I realized because of how I'm doing all of this, like, I want all of them in a whatever. Or if it's this kind of game, I'm in. Like, I'm buying it on site alone, right? Because of that, I have a lot of collections of games that I'm just not excited to play anymore. So, like, the Hero series is probably going to be the first example of this. Is that I really like Proving Grounds. I probably want Unstoppable. I want to try it. But the rest of them, I'm kind of ho-hum on, right? They're good games, they're not my style. So, I am going to make a list of all of the games that I collect, like whether it's designer, whatever, publisher, or style. And I'm going to eliminate a third of those. I'm only going to keep the ones I want, but then the rest of the ones that are in the series, like, I just don't need anymore. So I'm going to cull a third of my collections, plural.
Collections within your collection.
My collections of collections, yes.
There you go.
Yep.
I get that. I've actually gotten away from collections within my collections. There's certain ones that I do. Like, more so now, I don't collect all the Phil Walker Hardings. I will play the games, because more than likely you'll own it, and then I will decide if I want to put it in my collection. The other thing, too, is, like, the Stefan Feltz, that's not changing. I'm going to keep all that. I'm going to keep all the Stonemeyers as well, because I really like the stuff that they do. And the only other one I'm going to keep my collection for sure that is growing is the Kinderspiel winners. But other than that, like I said, I got out of the Phil Walker Harding thing. I don't need every Cathala game anymore, so I just going to pick the ones that I like.
Exactly. I'm going to get to the point where it's like, I'm not collecting every game from this designer, is that I want to at least play every game from this designer. You know.
I get that, I agree with you on that aspect of it.
Cool. All right, so we're in agreement on that one. And again, like, you'll be able to help me out with that. It's like, well, like it's like, well, if you him and haw on it, I did that to somebody the other day. They were like, yeah, I need to get rid of some of this stuff. It was like, I was thinking about buying this. Like, well, like, do you enjoy it? Why do you have it in your collection? Well, if you him and haw, get it out of there. Right.
If it's not bringing you that kind of joy anymore, if it's like, I like it, but it's more of a nostalgia like, then, it doesn't need to be there anymore if you're not going to pull it out.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Our number 2s.
All right, so my number 7 here is the one I said that tends to be on my list all the time, but this time I increased it. Last year, I did phenomenal on this goal, so I wanted to do this increasing. And this is, I want to play 300 unique games this year.
Okay. That's doable.
That's doable because I hit like 270 something last year, so it's just an increase of 30. My original goal was 200, and I hit that 2 years in a row. So I'm like, I gotta up this. And so I upped it again, and this is why it's a little bit lower. It's not that I can't do it. It's just because it's been on my list every year, and I just increased it. That's all. But 300 is it's a harder point. I did play a lot of games last year, but I also played a lot of repeat games last year. But it's not unique, like new to me style games. It's just 300 unique games. So Take Time counted as one, the calendar counts as one, but it's not going to count again when I replay it because it's not unique. So I want to do that, and I loved it because it gave me a reason to play a mix of old games and new games. It really helped me because of our game night group. We all play different style of games, and we bring over different style of games. Dom brings over like these heavier Euros with a lot of moving parts in it, a lot of track systems. You bring over the ugly games. Gamehead Geek brings over the kill things with dice games. And I make that joke because it's something what I'm going to do later on. But We played a lot of the old favorites as well.
Yeah.
So I got Gloomhaven back to the table. I got to play Distilled, which is a new game for me. I got Midi Fiore back to the table, which was fantastic for us to play again because it helped with your equilibrium.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I'm doing here with the 300 unique games. It's not really an equilibrium thing for me, but I want to have a mixture of new and old. If I play like one of the games on my pile of shame, I want to bust out Finspan again, or Wingspan is coming out with something like a new small version thing that's going to be sometime in June or July or something like that. I want to bust out, but that made me make me want to play Wingspan again, the full game, and so it's got all this push and pull, which is going to help me hit those 3 unique games because it's going to allow me to bring stuff back to the table again.
Yeah, good, cool. My number 7, the next one, or number 2 technically. So it's no secret that I design games, right? Mm-hmm. And this last year I had a.
You design games, huh?
Yeah, who knew, right? Do you have one over there? You probably do somewhere.
I have 2 over there, and I have 1 in there.
Oh, cool. So it's no secret that I design games, as I said, and one of my new games came out this year in April, and earlier last year
I'm like,
in April.
It's 26, man. All right,
yeah,
come on.
and of course I'm really proud of it. I'm biased, of course, but it has over 200 ratings on Board Game Geek. Over 600 people say that they own it, which is pretty wild, right?
It's really, big in Europe.
It's big in Europe, yeah. I mean, it's like okay here in the U.S. and there's a couple other places like around the world that it's in, but like it's big in Europe, mm-hmm. and I'm really proud of what it is, and it shows that like throughout every game that I designed, it's gotten a little bit better and better. So
it was also kind of nice about it too. You got a Dice Tower approval.
Yeah, I did. I got a Dice Tower seal of approval, which is a first for mine.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't happy about my first 2 games, right? And that's fine.
I don't think they were.
No, they never reviewed the first one.
Their second one.
The second one, it was a very quick like, I didn't like it. 5.
Yeah, but at least there was a 5. It wasn't like some of those atrocious.
He didn't slander it. He just said he just didn't
take
like
it or
how
leave
it
it
kept
kind
going.
of thing.
Yeah, sure. And but I have 2 more games, at least 2 more games that are currently signed. That'll be coming out probably another year from now or so.
Yeah. And
so I feel like in order to continue, not just trying to sell games or being in progress, I feel like it's really important that right now I adopt a series of best design practices. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of research into other designers, how they approach things, how they do playtesting. And what I want to do is I want to have like a set of like standard. I'm not going to go too much into like the concepts of game design or what I'm doing right now, but I think it's really important that I really start to hone in on like I need to do playtesting. I need to reinforce more blind playtesting. I need to ask some critical questions like what kind of emotions am I trying to elicit by making this game, right? Am I just trying to be like I want somebody like 10 minutes of just like giggling like a schoolgirl, or do I want like somebody to have like deep thought, like solving a puzzle? Like what kind of thing am I going for with this design, and how can I best refine it to that point and really make it something special when the publisher sees it.
Yeah.
When I get that. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but I already have a series of best practices that I've seen a lot of designers use, and I need to develop my own system where I can apply that.
My number 1 recommendation for you, learn how to
I won't let you play it.
No, get better sell sheets or work on doing proper sell sheets, because that a lot of the time nowadays it's just online kind of selling.
Yep, it's all online pitching,
yeah.
And that's really what it is, yeah. Since I can't get to conventions, that's my option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I get that, yeah. And actually, I'm actually taking a playbook a little bit just to peek behind the curtain. Jamie Stegmaier, Stonemaier Games, they release a monthly newsletter, and they have this chart on it that I really appreciate, where it has like these icons where it says, okay, design concept, they've made the prototype, they have the art assets, they've done the development work, and they have all these timelines, and they have a little checkbox next to it. And there is no reason I can't do that with like making my own list of like, all right, this is past the prototype stage. This is a point where I'm going to make the art. This is gone past its rules revision.
Yeah.
The main things are done.
Mm-hmm.
It is sale ready. I made the sale sheet, and I can start doing this to track my progress of which games I think are really functionally the best.
That's kind of what we do for the podcast right over there.
Yep, exactly.
Where it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is our breakdown.
Yep.
This is what we want. These are the games that we want to put on our review list.
Right.
That kind of thing. So,
and a roadmap, right?
Yeah.
And I also want to like get a series of like questions like for my playtesters, like where I'm like it really just harnesses like these are the questions I need to know.
Yeah.
This is how I'm doing this, and does this achieve what I'm promising it to do?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, number 7, adopt design best practices.
All right, moving on to our 6s.
Number 6 is, here we go.
That coin likes me. I like this one.
Yeah, this coin likes you a lot. This is our new coin, by the way. This is from Series 1 and 2 Final Girl. And you discovered this coin out of nowhere.
Yeah, it fell off my shelf because I have the little Bloody Mary thing, and it was behind the mirror, and it popped out when it fell. I'm like, I didn't even know that was there. And I don't know where the mirror part of it went to, but I was kind of happy with the coin.
Maybe the mirror turned into a coin.
But here's my thing: is like the mirror popped out. I cleaned this room, and I still haven't found it. So I think it fell under the shelf.
Probably
or something.
Under the shelves. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
So my number 6 is the game or the goal that I stole blatantly from you, but I worded it just slightly different.
So it's similar to, but legally distinct from.
Yes, it is. As of January 1st, 2026, I want to play at least 75% of the games on the top 100 that I haven't played yet. And this is some hard ones because...
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Can I clarify it real quick?
Okay.
75% of what you haven't played?
I haven't played.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so I have a picture of all the games from the top 100. A lot of them I played most of the top 10. In fact, I think I played all of the top 10. And some of them that are kind of similar, like Brass, Lincolnshire, I don't need to play it because I played Birmingham and it's pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
There's slight changes to it.
Sure.
I think Lincolnshire is just slightly heavier, and that's saying something because Birmingham is quite heavy. But so like Gaia Project, I have a possibility to play Gaia Project, even though I've played Mystic Veil?
Terra Mystica.
Terra Mystica, yes. It's over my shelf over here. I've played Terra Mystica. Because Gaia Project is on Board Game Arena, I still have the capabilities of trying it out and see which one I like better, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That is another part of the nuances. I don't need to play the physical game. If I have a chance to play it on Board Game Arena, I'm going to do it because I just want to see if the game is reasonable, if I want to ever add it to collection, or why it's in the top 100, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so... for me, I think it's roughly, I've played about 60 of the top 100 games. Sure. And so this means I need to hit 75% of 40 games.
So 30 more.
30-ish more games, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I want to play all top 100. Some of these are going to be hard for us. I know there's a possibility I'm going to get Kanban play because I know Gamehead Geek wants you to learn the rules for him because he's struggling with it. Yeah. I get it. It's a Lacerda game. And I also know there's a reason why I said about 75% of the ones that I haven't played, because there's not really a good chance for me to play Hegemony or on Mars, which is
I don't have Hegemony.
Well, yeah, that's right. You just recently got it.
Yeah,
but like on Mars,
Mars.
Yeah, these games are not in our game group. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on Board Game Arena. If it's there, then maybe you and me can learn the game through like videos and then just try to muscle our way through the game on Board Game Arena. But that is one of my goals. Is like I want to see why everybody likes these games a lot. I tried to trudge through the top 100 movies before. Didn't quite succeed. Me and the wife watched a lot of them, and then we're like, I can't take any more of these movies.
Yeah, some of these are pretty bad.
And the thing is. That was a reason why I did it as 75% of what I haven't already done.
Yeah.
Because we watched the movies we had already seen. And one of those movies a lot of people love and I can't stand, Titanic. It is one of the most historically inaccurate films when it comes to the Titanic part of things. Yeah. To the point where Neil deGrasse Tyson had to call them out because that's not the night sky that they would be seeing there and stuff like that. They basically just made a reflection of
the... and Mythbusters also pointed out, it's like, well, they could actually both fit on the door.
Yeah,
like, she let Jack die.
And
oh, spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it was, my thing is like, I don't, some of these games on the top 100, I don't want to play again.
Yeah.
But I've played them. And so that's why I clarified, I want to play 75% of the ones I haven't played.
Cool. Awesome. All right, my number 6. So we spend a lot of time at conventions when we can.
Yeah.
And there is one thing about conventions that I absolutely love that you can get at conventions that you can't really realistically get anywhere else. And my great example, when we went to the Three Wizards of the Mustache convention, which used to be a one in our near to us. They had a version of tumbling dice that was very memorable.
Yeah.
Because it was made out of insulation foam and giant dice.
Inflatable dice that you have to chuck over.
Yeah, you really have to throw them, and it's like we might have broken part of it. Like it was just so wild.
What's funny is that really worked for that when we had to chuck them over our head. We were fighting the freaking downdraft because it was in a hockey rink.
Yeah. It was so weird. So I want to make a jumbo version of a game.
Oh, there you go.
I think that would be really fun, and if we end up doing events,
yeah.
Can you imagine if we're playing like a giant floor-sized version of a game? I just love stuff like that. I think it's hilarious. I already know what game I'm probably going to do, and I probably know what game or how I'm going to do it too. Which is a game that you and I both really enjoy. You probably can't stop. Which would be a perfect one for that.
Do not be stealing any stop signs out of the city.
Right. No, those would be too small. I already have a plan. Don't you worry. Anyway, but no, city developers, I am so sorry in advance. No. No, but I just want to build a jumbo game, and I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Would be nice though if you did do that instead of like the inflatable dice.
Yeah.
Make dice out of like foam or something like that.
Yeah, foam blocks. Yeah, those are really easy to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I would say let's do tumbling dice, but let's do it out of like plywood or the drywall sheets were fine. It was more so the inflatable dice. If we do foam dice, I think it would be better.
I agree.
Number 5s.
Number 5s. Here we go. Let's get that coin. See how much I love you still.
Hey! I'll let you know.
What do you mean? My number 5. What one of my favorite 2-player games of all time, right? One, it's a dice roll and move game that doesn't even have dice.
No, what is this one?
It's also the oldest known board game to exist. Senate.
Oh, yeah.
And the Royal Game of Ur, that's another fun one. I like Mancala a lot. So,
if you play, which Mancala rules, though? That's the question.
I play normal Kala.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yeah, you're right. It's a different system. And I had this discussion with my in-laws a few weeks ago that we were playing dominoes. And then my wife asked, like, well, how do you play dominoes? I'm like, well, depends on what game we're playing, right? It could be like the one where you're scoring. It could be like the gin rummy where you're just trying to play out all your pieces.
Yeah.
It could be like, I don't know, stacking them up or whatever, Like, there's different ways to play. It's like, oh, let's play cards. Well, how do you play cards? Well, it depends on what game, right?
Yeah, so the main one I remember is Mexican Train. That's
a Mexican Train. That's another one. Yeah, exactly.
That's the one my dad played all the time.
Right. So there's different ways to do it. But those games evolved over time. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really think is just worth delving into, I've always enjoyed the history of games. I've always enjoyed, like, culturally significant games, like ones that, like, they would make boards, handcraft them, like Hneftafel, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong.
The Game of Ur, yeah.
The Viking game, the Game of Ur, Nine Men Morris. Like, those are all really important games that had years of history. So I set myself a goal of 8, but I want to learn at least that many culturally significant new games that I haven't played yet, ones that have some kind of history behind it from different parts of the world, that I can learn more about the culture and learn how they understood. Like, I've never played Hanafuda, and I own a deck of Hanafuda cards, but I've never actually played it, and that's a super important game in Japan because for the longest time they outlawed playing cards because they thought those were gambling toys. Mm-hmm. Hanafuda was a different thing, so they allowed that card game. So stuff like this, I want to learn all these culturally significant, old school, ancient games that I haven't had opportunities to play yet.
Sounds about good.
Yeah. With my number 5. Huh?
Not with me. A lot of those are abstract strategy.
True.
Yeah.
No, maybe Hanafuda though.
Yeah,
it's a card game.
I do like Senate. I do like. I never played the Game of Ur, but it's a lot.
It's like Senate, but not as good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. So it's like
it's cool. It does some things that I like, but also some things I don't like as much. Yeah.
My favorite, a little off topic, was it the Shut Up and Sit Down guys?
Oh yeah.
He was talking about like the history of board games and stuff like that.
It's a great video.
Freaking chess is just a variant of a different style of chess.
Yep. Oh god, what was the original name of it?
Yeah, but yeah.
But you're right.
That makes me laugh every time I watch that video.
It really was, yeah.
All right, so my number 5 is one specifically when it comes to my statistics. Now, this has to deal with anybody who takes care of statistics when it comes to their board game and follows that kind of thing, tracks that stuff. Mm-hmm. My goal here is I want to maintain or exceed My H index, which is at 6 right now, I want to hit that this year, which means I get to play a lot of the same games over and over again. So what people don't know what an H index is that you play a certain amount of games a certain amount of times. So if I play 10 games at least 10 times, like a 10 by 10, that means my H index is a 10 because I played 10 games 10 times. However, if I played 10 of those games and only one of them hit 9 times, then my H index would be 9 because I played 9 games 9 times. I didn't hit that significant 10. So I want to maintain that H index that I have, which is a 6, or go higher than that. And I don't want to play into the meme, so that's why I did it, worded it the way I did. So because when I was talking about this with my wife and my other friend who's also a teacher, they were like, don't say it, and their kids come in and they popped out when I said it. I'm like, nope, okay, from now on I'm wording it this specific way. And it's 6 or higher because I could hit an H index of 8 and it would be fantastic. Yep. Because that means I played 8 games 8 times. And it's possible for me because we are playing campaign games. Sure. Take Time, which we played at the start of the year, is different sets of that puzzle, so I can play that multiple times. I know
you're gonna play that many.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it is a good possibility for me to hit this one, and I love the fact that I'm replaying games throughout the year too, even if it's small little card games or a solo game that I constantly play a lot because I enjoy it a lot, that kind of thing. So maintaining my H index of 6. However, my since I started tracking, my H index is 13. I've played 13 different games 13 times minimum.
Wow, total.
Total since 2019. So I'm kind of happy about that.
I haven't looked at mine yet. I wonder.
Because one of the things I was trying to set up on the challenge of BG Stats is hit my next H index. Yeah. It goes for your total. So my next total would be 14.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I'll have to look at mine and see what my total H index. I've never actually looked at that. All right, off to our number 4s.
All right, my number 4 is another one that is specific to my statistics and stuff like that. I've noticed since 2019, I have roughly hit 80 days or more, just slightly more than 80 days, but never above 90 all that much as we're going. I want to hit 100 days of games played this year. I hit 89 last year, and I hit 89 the year before. The first and only time I've ever hit 100 when I watched or started keeping my statistics was 2019 when I started keeping my statistics. So I hit 123 days then. I don't want to hit 123 again. I just want to hit 100 days. And that also means that I'm busting games out for solo play. I will count games that we're playing on Board Game Arena when we start the game, because the games can take over a couple of days and stuff like that. So I track it when I started the game out, and then I go in there.
Yeah.
When I go back in there and complete it, but I tracked it from the start of the game because I watch the time, that kind of thing. So
gotcha.
Whenever I start a game, that's when it gets tracked.
Why did Can't Stop take 16 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't track the hours on the Board Game Arena aspects of it.
Right.
But I do track the plays of it at the start, and that's because that's how I always track my games. And if I don't finish, then I put in a note that I didn't finish the game. But yeah, so I want to hit 100 days of gaming. So far, I'm not doing too bad. I've done 2 days of gaming because technically I did play my calendar today, but I'm only counting it once a month, so it's not in my tracking. But yeah, so I want to hit 100 days of gaming. I'm also tracking it on Board Game Arena. That means more solo, as I said, and I can't wait to do that because I do need to get some solo gaming in. I do miss it. Like Kinfire Delve, I want to play that one. Or not Delve. It's Delve, the small one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Chronicles is the bigger one. Yep. But I want to play more of that because I love the way that one works. So yeah, it's just a slight important goal for me to hit 100 days.
Cool. My number 4 is going to help you with your H index. Okay, you can't see them there. I want to finish a pending legacy game that we've been sitting on. You, me, and our friend Dammit Dom are playing Risk Legacy together. You, me, Dom, and our friend Gamehead Geek are playing Rise of Queensdale together. Mm-hmm. We started that prior to the pandemic.
Yeah, we actually found this out when I busted out Risk Legacy when we played it that one day.
Right.
That we hadn't played it in like
4
years? 5
Something
years.
Like that, yeah.
5 years, yeah.
So I want to finish a legacy game.
That's
my goal. Number 4. And I can start a new one and then finish it. That's fine. But I want to Finish a pending Legacy game.
Yeah, including the ones we've already started.
Likely one of the ones we've started, because...
More than likely Risk Legacy, because it all depends on the fourth person for Rise of Queensdale.
Yeah, but and he doesn't ever show up during my game night, so it's like, all right, well, we'll see on that. So that should help you out with your...
Yeah, and then I can get your game off my shelf.
I know. Right? It's been... More room has been on this shelf.
Yeah, well, we've been keeping it here because this is where we play the game.
Right.
It's like, why are we going to drag this around? But... if we're going to start doing that, I agree wholeheartedly, because I do want to finish that one at least.
Yeah, Risk Legacy I think would be really fun. And it's pretty quick enough. That's my number 4.
All right.
On to our number 3s.
All right, back to me again. My number 3, and when I made reference of your ugly games earlier, it's because of this one specifically.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And
Go on.
My number 3 is to be more open to gaming. But I reserve the right to hate on all iterations of social deduction games.
And 2-player games. You heard it here first.
I don't mind 2-player games. In fact, I'm actually getting a 2-player game in the mail. Joke's on you.
So that means that if I'm like, hey, Daniel, you and I are both off this day. We're kind of bored. Want to come over and play some 2-player games? I have some good ones.
Or you can come over here and play games, because I don't feel like dealing with that.
Or either way.
Yeah.
Like, would you want me to bring a stack of 2-player games and we'll play some?
I don't mind 2-player games. It's just that they don't normally get played here. I think Tag Team has a possibility, because sometimes we miss a lot of people here.
Oh, is that the one you're getting?
Yeah, that's the one I picked up, because I want to play a physical copy of this one. And I have a couple other...
I agree. I think it'd be more engaging.
Yeah. So that was one thing, but I also want to be more open to gamings, whether I'm not a fan of the mechanism. Unlike social deduction, I don't like the aspects of social deduction, where I don't care for like bluffing and lying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also, whether I like them or not, also theme, whether I like it or not, I want to be open to it and at least give the game a chance, because, in all honesty, you've brought over some of the ugliest games I've ever seen. And you hit more times than you fell on these games. Like Hamburgum, fantastic game.
Amazing
I would
game.
Never look at it because of that cover.
Yes,
but it's a fantastic game. Federicus is a different story, and I put a note here, but I reserve the right to tease Daniel 2 for all his game choices. But
fair enough.
But I am going to try to be more open to a lot of these games, based on mechanisms I don't like, based on themes I don't like, based on how they look, because a lot, like Fight 'em, I don't like Friedman Freeze games all that much.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic game. Do I need to own it? No, but I have no problem playing it. But that's why I'm like, when you're talking about like, oh, I'm getting all these Friedman Freeze games, I'm like, I'll play them. I'm not going to go out of my way and look for them, but if you want to bring them to the table... But
you used to have that bias against them, and now that you found a couple, you're like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, like, and the same thing with Knizia. I was more overwhelmed with Knizia, but I'm actually really liking a lot of his newer stuff, like Mille Fiori, Well Riders, the dungeon one. I can't remember what that one is called. The kind of deck building one. I did enjoy that one.
Ruins of Thunder?
Yeah, Ruins of Thunder. Something like that, yeah. But it's more so I'm going to try to be more open and be like, okay, this is... Except for social... Again, I have to reiterate. Social deduction... Like, bluffing games, I'll try more so than I would social deduction. Because I don't know what it is about social deduction. I just get taken out of the game. I don't feel like I'm in that game or in that role or something like that. I'm just sitting there like, oh, I gotta lie because I'm the traitor, that kind of thing.
Like, now everyone's watching me because now I have to lie or something.
Yeah.
And then, you just like, hey, let's just spend 15 minutes staring at each other suspiciously.
Yeah, exactly. That just drives me insane. That messes with my anxiety in a sense. So that's one of my main issues with social deduction, but like bluffing, that kind of thing, I'll try to do better when it comes to those and be more open-minded to it, especially your ugly games that you bring, because it's funny, because we just saw some of the new games that you brought from Tucson, and I'm like, oh, God.
Which one? Which one looked ugly?
The blue one at the bottom. That longer one.
I don't plan to... I will explain that one. That one actually is probably going to be as part of my... ancient or cultural games like that. There's a whole reason I bought that one.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying that one kind of looked. I was like, I'll be more open to it if he brings it. We'll play it. But
no, you wouldn't like it. It's a 2-player abstract strategy. Well, no, there's solos, there's multiplayer. Anyway,
but again, I'll be open. Like also the 2-player abstract strategies. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I like some of them. Like Shobu was a fantastic game.
A great game.
I like Niram. I think that's a really good game. That's abstract strategy in a sense. I love Goblet over there.
Yeah.
So there are some that I like, but it's just more so I need to be more open to some of these games. Sometimes I'm gonna fail at that aspect. Sometimes I'm just not having a good day, and my face is gonna tell you how I feel about the game. Yep. But I'm gonna try to be more open to them.
Yep, cool. All right, those are number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. This is something that our group has talked about quite some time, and it kind of hinged on our friend Gamehead Geek, and we kind of talked about this idea from time to time. But then now this year, you know what? I'm just gonna make it happen. We're gonna have a gaming weekend in a cabin. We're gonna go bring some games over to a cabin. We have a local ski resort that's near us,
Mm-hmm.
only like 2-hour drive from us. Lovely place, and I love supporting them. They're great people that live there.
This would have been the perfect weekend.
this weekend would have been great had I been here.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about last weekend. I'm talking about this upcoming weekend.
Oh, this upcoming one? Sure, yeah. Yeah, that would have been perfect. No, but I want to have a gaming weekend in a cabin. You, me, and 2 other guys. We just lock ourselves in. That's the plan. We can bring the wives. They can have fun hanging out together. But our goal is quite simple. We're gonna get a cabin. Like when we're awake, we're playing games. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, like almost like a retreat kind of thing for us. So that was on my short list, but I'm like, I just don't know logistically how I would do it.
No, I'd do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, so this is one exception because it does require you guys.
Yeah, that was like my number 8.
So I did put have a gaming weekend in a cabin. I don't have to invite you guys. It could be my other friends, but I want to have it with you guys because that was our goal.
Yeah.
In jest, of course. Number 2. Here we go. Hey, mine. Oh yeah.
Okay, because I'm like I didn't even see it. What was it?
So I found I was starting to have this problem with my gaming collection because what I have right now is I have a full room full of games, but I also have a lot of like my old TCG stuff, and I also have some of my prototypes, and then sometimes random items that are around the house like. I'll have like a Rubik's Cube, like I'm like no, throw it in the game room, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so it gets kind of messy. So what I found is that I have been getting lately some of my prototypes are getting mixed up and kind of mixed in, and I saw a video again from Stonemeyer Games where he opened up his cabinet behind him, and they were all upcoming board games that he's working on. And he has like some nice drawers and stuff.
He filmed this like 2 years before.
Yeah, no, it was like 20.
I think it was like 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, 21 like maybe. And he was like, "This is a time capsule, is what I'm working on." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Not like the video's great, but specifically the way he organized this stuff and how he has a designated spot for his game designs and stuff that he's working on. And I was like, and I decided I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to dedicate a part of my house. I'm going to get it cleaned up. I'm going to get some tables, some cabinets, all my prototype stuff out of the main parts of my house and put in this spot. So I can access them, I can work on them.
But not in your board game room because...
Not in my board game room. I wouldn't have room in there, I don't think.
Well, not just that. It would also... you're afraid it'd get mixed up or something like that.
Right, exactly.
If you have another shelf collapse, you shouldn't, but...
no, let's hope not again. Not again. But no, I mean, like, I have bags of games where it's like, oh, those are my prototype. Oh, well, look under that Super Skill Pinball. That's where my dice game is, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and then I have, like, Ziploc bags full of, like, prototype ideas I put together in some bits, and I have pieces of bits like all around the house and stuff that have no reason to be in my living room or other parts. Even though I do work on games in those spots, I need to have a workshop, and so I decided that's along with the best practices. Those are kind of hand in hand. I'm going to make a design workshop.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. Another recommendation just out for you as well. If you don't recycle your expansion boxes, because I know you do what I do,
I don't.
Put them in that sort of thing.
Yep.
You have a label maker. Why don't you use the expansion boxes,
Yep.
put the components in it, and put a label maker over the top? This is what I'm working on here. This is this one here, and that kind of thing. Just make your life a little easier in that.
100%, yeah. Because I have a label maker and I have plenty of. One of my favorite things I ever bought from anywhere was I went to a garage sale and I bought just this big box full of mat boards, and that is perfect for punching tokens, getting like actual boards and stuff. I use those all the time, but I have them in this weird awkward spot in my garage because if I brought them out into the living room or any other of my living spaces, that would look absolutely awful. And so, and also for my wife's sanity. That's why I really want to do this. Is that way I have a place where I can go work on some prototypes, work on my stuff,
put on some music
put on some music, just kind of hang out, like, and let her do her thing, you know. So, design workshop, that is my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is a very important one for me because I'm kind of running out of space in here. And this is to limit my influx of games. Now, What I mean here is like I'm not gonna lessen like a lot of my selling or buying kind of thing too.
Sure. Yeah, you're still gonna buy a lot.
I'm not gonna buy a lot. I'm gonna try not to buy too much. Like if I know for a fact that Gamehead Geek might be buying something, maybe I'll hold off on that. Now there is also always exceptions to this. Like if it's something that I'm collecting, like
sure.
all the Cthulhu Death May Die series, all the Marvel United or DC United kind of stuff. But it's more like the limit the influx. Back off on Kickstarter, back off on buying a lot of these games that I'm not very sure of. And that was one of the big things I really realized this past Christmas.
Sure.
When we did our Secret Santa, the games that I put on my Christmas list. None of the games really on that list I didn't know anything about, kind of thing. It was like, oh, this is just kind of like, that looks interesting, I'll try it out, kind of thing. I played Invincible, the hero building game. I played Take Time. I wanted the expansion for a game I already play and do enjoy.
Right.
So a lot of the stuff that was on my Christmas list and stuff like that is games I already know I like, so I want to bring them in. I don't want to go into this kind of thing blindly as often now. That's part of my influx. Another thing is I implement a rule for my gaming aspect of it. Is one comes in, one goes out. So if I really like something, I have to find out which game I'm not playing all that often that I'm willing to part with and take off the shelf before this new game that's coming on. Because I am running out of room in here. Now, my number one is kind of involved with this one as well, so I'll get into that when we get there. But yeah, it's just trying to, like, my gaming collection was the smallest of our group, and now I'm catching up to everybody else. I think I have about 400 games in here. And I have a giant pile of shame right over behind us that I need to get.
That's a giant pile, sure.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, for this space as well.
For this space, yeah.
Yeah, because there's really about, even though I hit my goal last year, there's about the same amount I played last year went back on there just recently from our trip to Board Game Geek Con, the stuff that we bought there, stuff that I played elsewhere. So yeah. It's stuff that I need to get done. I have to lessen it. Plus, me and the wife are deciding about buying this house as well, so I need to get the money aspect down.
Yep.
And it's getting to the point where, like, yeah, I'm getting all these new games, but I am also neglecting everything here. There's very few that I get played again, and it's taking me so long just to finish Gloomhaven is because I'm also trying to play all this stuff over here, too. And so, limit the influx. One game comes in, one game goes out kind of situation. So if I don't want to make those tough decisions, then I got to get less things to go on this pile of shame and before I don't have to make that decision until there gets to a point where it's like, I haven't played this game in like 5 years. This has to go kind of thing.
Right.
Now, what game am I adding to the collection?
Why haven't I played it in 5 years?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, my number 2 is limit the influx of games coming in.
Cool. All right, and our number one's gaming goal of 2026.
And as I mentioned, my number 1 kind of deals with what I was just talking about with my number 2, and it's modifying this game room, which is also our podcast room. One of the things that's already in the process here is I've cleaned up the room. The desk that we're currently using is going away. We're getting a standing desk in here, and I'm going to have to finagle how we're going to be recording in here as well. I may put it over here and move the second monitor or get a longer HDMI for it could still work where it's at, but there's going to be times where we're tired of sitting all day or something like that. We want to record. We could do it as a standing podcast as well. You get to see more of the room. The other thing is I'm cleaning out parts of my garage here, and we're going to be getting a new entertainment center for the living room. We're using shelves like this for the entertainment center at the moment. We're going to move those into the garage, and my pile of shame is going to go in there. We might get more shelves to put in there as well. And the other thing, what I'm going to do about that too, is I mentioned it about limiting the influx of games coming in. Games that are on the chopping block are going to move over there. They're going to get played again, and if they're not giving me the satisfaction that I want anymore, then they go into the sell pile, regardless. It's just, or if they've been on the shelf for, let's say, 5-10 years, haven't been played more than a handful of times, then it's going into the chopping block when then I have to decide
the board game purgatory.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be sitting. Is if it's going to stay, then it has to earn its spot back, kind of thing.
Yep.
And that's what happened with Dead of Winter, and that made me think this is the best way to do it. If it hasn't been played in a while, it needs to go over there. Then on one of my game nights, I probably should pick one of those games over there for us to play rather than the Shelf of Shame stuff. Maybe one of those and one of the Shelf of Shames. See what's coming in. If this is going in, that one's coming back to the room. That kind of thing. And it's one, this is a small room. I need to give us a little bit more space in here, as well as limit the space back there. A lot of big games over here. Like, I have Sickly sitting under the desk because it's got nowhere to put on the shelf because it's so massive. And so that is my thing, is that I am trying to change up this game room, maybe get a little more soundproofing, maybe fix up the shelves behind me, get everything looks nice now. We have a nice background, a nice backdrop, but as you can see, that's a 3 shelf thing, and it's piled up like it's 6 shelves. It's almost as high as my other shelves. And
right, if you ever want to play a game that's on the bottom of that, that's going to be a whole thing
to do. And so that is part of the thing I'm going to do here, is try to organize this room in a much better way with new desk, new possibility of standing so you might be seeing us standing during certain podcasts, and we can actually get into physical fights now. But that is my main goal, is to fix this room and modify it for the better for us.
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. And my number 1. This, you'll notice I haven't had any statistical ones yet. Last year I wanted to replay as many games as I played new, which again, I need to make the Instagram post because I hit it on the nose. 282 for both.
That's pretty sweet.
Guaranteed. Like, I counted them all. I was like, we're good. And so I was thinking about
You know what's funny about that, too, before we get into yours? Because it made it fun for the rest of us, too. Right. I'm like, I'm going to pick this game because I haven't played this in a while, and this helps you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, I already played that.
But I'll still play it again, right? But it gave us, like, some of that, like you and I played some games at Board Game Arena, and then we're like, all right, let's play all these games that I need to replay. And then we played some, and we're like, man, that one plays really good on here.
Yeah.
We should do that some more.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's some of the ideas. But this one specifically, I wanted to do something like that, but I was like, I don't want to do a 10x10. I don't want to, like, play a certain number of games. Like, I don't want to be tied to something specific. So what's the opposite of pre-planning? Chaos. Board game, or the Board Game Stats app has a random function. I want to play 100 randomly chosen games. And the way I'm going to do this is during my game nights at my house, when it's my pick here, I'll plan like the week before, and I'm gonna hit that random button, and if it is capable for my game group, and I know the rules for it, and for the time that we have right then and there, I'm gonna play it. Like, I'm gonna let fate decide what I'm playing for the next 100 games ish. Like, of course there'll still be games that I'm choosing, But yeah, who knows what kind of weird amalgamation. I'm still going to be bringing in some Shelf of Shame stuff. I really got to knock that down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the fact that they included a random game option. So that's 100 games randomly chosen by Board Game Stats. There you go.
Yeah, that's an actually interesting one on that line. I'm also sitting there like, wait, that's basically where I'm going to have to be more welcoming to games, and you're going to bring some of the most... If you bring Frederikus again, I'm going to smash
I don't have Frederikus. It is not in existence in Las Cruces as far as I know.
But it's in your stats, so it's going to pull it up.
But it's not capable. Like, I'm not going to go buy it so I can play this randomly the next day. No.
It's chaos.
No, what... Again, what I meant is games from that... Like, you can filter out ones that you own or not. You know that, right?
Yes, I know.
And I'm going to do it from what I own. The only bad thing is, like, Shelf of Shame, I might not have known the game already. Like, I might not have pre-learned it. Mm-hmm. Like, if I do that, like, the day before one of our game nights, then maybe, like, I might pull one of those. Or there might be some that I'm like, oh, I really want to play this game. But that should put, like, if I do that 2 a week, randomly chosen, I'll have all of that, no problem. So, there you go. There's our 2026 gaming goals.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It all sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Some of yours I'm actually pretty looking forward to, honestly.
Like what, the H-Index one?
The H-Index, because that'll help me with the Legacy game, right? But then also, I mean, like, changing the podcast area, right?
Yeah.
we're getting more advanced with what we're doing. We're doing some more stuff, so.
Yeah, so just kind of trying to modify it, make it better. Maybe actually get a true light over here. We have a nice one here, like a small one, but I want to get a bigger version of that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Where that's sitting.
Proper lighting, proper light instead of like us being blind every time we turn that on. Like, jeez, okay. Hold on, let me turn down real quick. Yeah.
I agree. So that's a lot of the stuff that I want to work on in here. Become more professional. We're always going to be a small podcast. We're not going to be like a crazy one that we're out there making millions of dollars on GameFound or anything like that. We're hundreds of thousands in this case, but we're just a small little podcast because we're people who love board games.
Exactly. So, with that episode, let us know your gaming goals for this next year in the whatever comments, chats. Let us know. If you want to tell us those goals through email, we have an email. everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com, and let us know, of course, your gaming goals. Also, let us know what you think about future episodes, any ideas, enter in possible contests that we have running throughout the year, or if you just want to reach out and say hello. Also, we have Instagram, instagram.com/everydayboardgames. Check out to see some of the games that Daniel and I have been playing lately, and some of the other random things that we've been posting.
All video re-uploads and reviews are found under youtube.com/@everydayboardgames. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on that platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject.
We also stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Make sure you follow us there so that way you can be notified when we have live episode, live recording, and you can join us in on the conversation.
And all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
You almost said Papple.
Papple, yeah.
So as always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
And we want to thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day is a good day for board gaming.